talk since the last game. So just with some of our performances, we thought Dan Feeney and Dimitri Camille. Dan didn't have a lot of plays, was playing really strong. We'll see what his situation is this week. Just doctors letting him go if he does. But Dimitri also played well up front in the offensive performances. Divine Redding, Mike Majette, both a lot of yards after contact, both good rushing performances. Divine 110, Majette 6 for 57. Mitchell Page and Nick Westbrook were both good in the perimeter, 6 catches, and Mitchell had 5 knockdowns in the perimeter. Westbrook had 3 and the 2 big touchdowns. Defensively, Ralph Green played really well, had a sack, 2 quarterback knockdowns, graded 88%. Was solid. Marcus Olivers, 8 tackles and a forced fumble, really good. Tony Fields, 4 tackles, 1 assist, 2 pass breakups. He was 7 of 9 out of opportunities. When you got a chance to make a play and really making it, it's playing well for us. And Rashard Fant didn't get a lot of action, but when he was 2 for 2 in pass breakups, those guys were well. Kicking game, our punt team let us down. We're working hard to correct that. First week it was our field goal, so we got to be complete in all phases. So we're working hard there. Didn't have a lot of kickoff return. Our kicker was very solid. Mitchell did a great job kicking him out. I thought the field goal before the half by Mitchell Page was really, really good. Players of the game, Divine Redding on offense, Marcus Oliver on defense, Griffin Oakes as the specialist. Our scout players of the week were Alex Rodriguez and Ryan Watercutter, 2 upper-class guys. A-Rod's been awarded a scholarship of former walk-ons, and Jake Attar is doing a nice job. And so I thought that was a solid performance. Played the first 3 quarters good. I don't know if we had a lull. I think we probably played like our fans and just left in the fourth quarter, it looked like. But the first 3 quarters, we were good. We were up 30-0, and so I liked the way we played. We just, we had them down 30-0, second and 9, and we had some second-team guys in their defense. We let it play out and got a drive going, got a field goal. Offense, we were trying to slow it down and got a little bit out of rhythm. And kept put us back on the field. The block punt definitely hurt us. Never felt threatened. I read some of the comments. Everybody thought it was like Rutgers. I didn't think it was like Rutgers because Rutgers, we didn't stop them. These guys didn't score but 1 touchdown, so I kind of felt like we were in control of the game. And I just would have, it'd been nice to have been cleaner, and not necessarily take the foot off the gas, but just clean up the offense a little bit. Defense, a little bit more of a killer instinct. But I really had a lot of respect for Ball State coming in there. And I thought they played solid game. And for the most part, we were really, really pretty solid, and we just got to finish. We finished both halves in our first 2 games good. We finished the first game, fourth quarter, really good. This last one, for whatever reason, just play calling, execution, all phases. It could be better. Going into Wake Forest, they're coming in 3-0. They just played Delaware last week. Totally dominated that game. I think going into the fourth quarter, they'd given up 2 first downs. And you can say it's an FCS opponent, but, the Big Ten has a rule you can't play FCS teams. But for some reason, a couple teams are playing them, and look at the scores of those games because we've lost a couple. Those are good teams, and there's only, I think, 6 undefeated matchups this week in Power 5. And the reason being is a lot of Power 5 teams aren't taking care of winning games you're supposed to win. There's been some crossovers and some good teams playing good teams, but you look, I think it's Florida, Georgia, and A&M, Arkansas, and Michigan State, Wisconsin. Us and Wake. I mean, so you're playing a team that when you've won 3 in a row. That team last week came in, was averaging 330 yards a game rushing. They held them to about 40. Totally shut them down in the run game. They're running the ball very, very well. They just had an injury at quarterback, but they had that last year. Last year, their starting quarterback was knocked out against Wake Forest. Hinton came in, last play of the game. They're throwing it into the end zone. This year, I guess Kendall got hurt his knee to some degree. So now, John, they're fortunate to have 2 good quarterbacks. So that we'll see how their quarterback situation plays out. But they've got a good team. And I say that because, to me, it's the second time we've played this team, but it's 5 years in a row I've seen them. Because in 2013, we opened up early with Bowling Green, which meant we studied the 2012 Bowling Green team, which was Coach Clausen's team. So we watched the 2012 season, getting ready for the opener, and then we played Bowling Green. And then we played Wake last year, 2015. With that early, we watched the 2014 Wake Forest team. So we've studied this team for 5 years. We've seen them play a lot of football. Their defense, Coach Echo's defense, is extremely stout, extremely strong against the run, pressuring the quarterback. They were at Bowling Green. It's been a coach that I've respected in the way they've played. Had my eye on him as a coach for a long time. Thought he's just an awesome coach. His kids play hard. You look at the way Louisville's playing. I think last year their Louisville game was, 1917? They played them late in the year. I mean, they go toe-to-toe with those guys. Now, I know it's the next year, but still the same quarterback. I guess that guy's gotten better, and I'm sure he has. But, you watch those guys play. shut out Clemson in the second. Hey, watch them how they play against us last year. I mean, they basically have what was their second-team quarterback, Kendall, who actually won the job this year, but last play of the game, they're throwing it in the end zone. So, again, a lot of respect for the team. Know the school well because I grew up down there, so that's kind of neat. But it's really about this year's team and their team. I think they're a solid team, great on defense. They're playing great in the kicking game. Their kicker's going to kick it about 8 yards deep. They've had 2 punters. The guy last week had a 49-yarder. They're great in the kicking game. They've taken care of the football, and they're playing team football, and they've had 3 really good team wins. I think we've had 2 good team wins. So I think it's 2 teams that match up. It's going to be on BTN. Should have a great crowd. I encourage our fans to stay with us and stay behind us all the way down the stretch because it's got a chance to be a stretch game. And when you get in these, our last 6 games, we've won 4 and we've lost 2 in double overtime. So why don't we hang around for 4 quarters and see what happens, have a lot of fun, and make this an exciting atmosphere. I know we have a big crowd starting out. We want to play well down the stretch. And I think Wake comes in as a good team. I think it's a good matchup. We've had a good off week of practice. We've had a couple of injuries that are kind of public with some guys, but we're as healthy as we've been. A lot of guys are getting back. We've practiced really, really good. And we're going to need a good week because I think Wake comes in as a stout team, and then we roll straight into 9 Big Ten games. So it's getting ready to get real and get serious. And I think our guys are looking forward to the challenge. It'll be a big game and a good week.
Talk about, studying that offense as often as you have. What changes between Henke and Wolford? How much maybe does change and how much is just kind of scheme and they adapt?
Well, they both run. Probably Kendall's a little bit more of a dynamic runner. And you might emphasize that run skill because he's more of maybe a home run threat at quarterback or a big play threat. But in every game, and even last year, I mean, Wolford is a solid runner, and they're going to run. They'll run him. He probably spins the ball a little bit more, so there's a little bit more pass. So it's the same offense. I think the emphasis goes a little bit more from not maybe as much zone read or triple option kind of stuff they do, with a little bit more maybe run pass. But at the same time, again, we saw Kendall last year. He threw the ball well down the stretch. We got to tighten our pass D up. So I think they'd say the schemes stay similar, but things they emphasize are a little bit different because one guy is probably a little bit more of a guy that runs, but a little bit more throw guy. They're still going to run the ball because they're going to rely on good defense and good kicking. And the ability of both teams to run the ball and stop the run, no matter, that's always been the gist of a lot of games. If you make those big passing game plays, it's easy, Zach, but it's running and stopping and run, and that's the way we always start, and that's kind of the way they start too.
You guys watched the first 2 games on offense. What kind of things did you see with the issues when you kind of got bogged down or kind of spun your wheels a little bit?
Yeah, just some negative plays that get you 2nd and 12. Just this lack of execution. Maybe sometimes we could be a little bit more aggressive in play calling, but then you're worried about getting behind chains. So we just, we've when we bogged down, we've had something like last game. We had several plays that were tackled for loss, and we didn't protect the quarterback very well. And this team gets after the quarterback the best of any team we played, and we'll see this continuing with the guys we've got coming. So the negative play getting us behind chains, 30, 35, 40, 40-yard line areas got us. Yeah, he has a concussion protocol deal.